Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel, and joining us today from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Tiani Valle. How you doing, ma'am? How's it going before LFA 130?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling the best I've ever felt. I'm sure you hear that from everyone, but I really am. Just very excited to get out there again.
Okay, so what kind of camp, what kind of preparation leads to you feeling the best you ever have?
You know, it really just comes down to everyone involved in my fight camp. I've been blessed to have, B. Nguyen, Casey O'Neill, Michelle Oliveira, Maida Mazar. So just high caliber training partners that have helped me from the beginning of camp to the end of camp. Get ready for every possible situation.
And it's been a year. I saw there was a fight that fell through. So how do you feel to get back in the cage?
Oh man, I've been waiting, waiting patiently to get another shot. So it's definitely, I'm very excited, very stoked to get back in there and let the hands fly.
Well, we mentioned at the top, you're joining us from Extreme Couture in Las Vegas, Nevada. How long have you been there?
I've been in I moved to Las Vegas a year and a half ago and just jumped into Extreme Couture right away. It's been a huge blessing compared to, coming from Maui where we barely have any gyms. It's nice to have Extreme Couture where, I have everything all in one place.
What was that decision like to leave home? How did you choose what state, what gym you wanted to go to?
It kind of was already set up. My boyfriend, Aupuni Pagoa, he fights for LFA too. He was already living here. So when COVID hit, I was like, what better time? Let's restart. Let's try to see how far I can go and jump into, Extreme Couture with the best in the world, the best partners in the world, and the best gym, one of the best gyms in the world.
You brought it up. Your better half or other half is also a fighter. What is that like?
It's, we ups and downs, but mainly it's dieting the entire fight camp. He's my counselor, drives me crazy sometimes, but it's great. He understands for sure.
And I think I saw something on the social media that you two have already planned to not fight on the same card together.
Yes. We kind of agreed when we signed our contract with LFA. We just want to focus on ourselves. We're both, with the sport, you have to be selfish, especially when you have, you're in fight camp and you have a fight coming up. And we just want to completely focus on each other when we each have fights and not have to stress each other out because we're both focusing on ourselves, and it would just be a lot easier and better for both of us.
So does that make it easier then during fight camp because each one of you knows what the other's going through?
Definitely. We share the same profession, so we both understand when the end of weight cut, when we're both very hangry, we understand, so we know how to speak to each other, how to treat each other. We're there for each other, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and I hope I do too, but we're a great team for sure.
Now it's much bigger. Also, you're working with a lot of great training partners. You mentioned a few earlier. Who's some of the coaches that you've grown really close to there in your time in Vegas?
My main coach, of course, is Jimmy Gifford. And then there are amazing coaches here at Extreme Couture. We have Dennis Davis, Eric Nixick, Eddie Bracco. We've got Jake Shields here, Nate Pettit, just a bunch of coaches that are there to be able to share the knowledge and they're great because they really take the time out of their days to just help. And it's been a huge blessing.
About a year ago is when everyone saw your LFA debut. Quite an epic fight that one was. What kind of fan reaction did you get from the last fight?
You know, I took it hard because I of course I gave it all I had in camp, trained really hard. But Kat was a beast, man. It takes two to tango, and I'm really proud of the war and the show that we put on. I did learn a lot about myself in that fight, and me, I took it hard, but the fact that I had a lot of everybody else like basically saying it was fight of the year, I was like, okay, I did my job. It's not like I went out easy, so yeah, I mean, a lot of positive feedback from that last fight for sure.
And even though it wasn't a win, did you feel that there were some building blocks that you were able to take away to start growing off of?
Most definitely, yes. We went back to the gym as soon as possible, and I've just been fixing the kinks. Most importantly, I learned a lot about myself. Mentally, I mean, that was a tough fight. I didn't give up, which I wouldn't have anyway. But it's just I was proud of myself.
Going into the fight game, it's probably going to happen, but were you expecting for that to be one of those fights where it was a war?
Yes, I had watched Kat's fight, a few of Kat's fights in the beginning of my camp, and I noticed that she's a bull and she's willing to take punishment. She's never she's not one to give up. I knew it was going to be hard to put her down, but of course, after going through that fight, I realized, yeah, she was definitely a lot tougher than I expected. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with the show we put on. She's a great person, and I'm proud of her for sure.
So that last fight, you had the inclinations are going to be a tough one. What's your feelings about Halie Rose at LFA 130?
Oh man, I'm expecting it to be basically the same. Hillary's tough as nails. She'll take some heavy shots. She'll keep moving forward. She'll keep pushing forward. I know she's down to bang, to strike with me. I also know that eventually she's gonna try to take me down. And I've been preparing for that, so I'm very excited to see what comes out of this entire fight.
Do you feel like she'll test you in every angle you look? She's got finishes by submission, but recently she also had some kickboxing experience, so you can see she's trying to round out her game.
Yes, definitely. She's a well-rounded fighter. She's, her track record's great as well. It's gonna be a tough fight for sure. That's what I feel like it's going to be. And what I've prepared for. She's not one to take lightly for sure.
And over this last year that you've had time to tinker around there in your laboratory, play with new techniques, where do you feel that you've gained the most, or what part of your game has evolved the most?
I feel like, I'm sure I know everybody else knows I'm more of a stand-up fighter. Definitely need work on my ground game. I've definitely been working a lot on my defense, ground defense, jiu-jitsu, just trying to grow, and not make the same mistakes that I've been making. And like I said, I'm blessed to have Extreme Couture, where I'm able to train every part of my MMA. Rather than being back home and having to go to boxing practice, and I'd have to go to jiu-jitsu, then I'd have to go to another place for kickboxing. I have it all in one place. So excited to show what I've learned.
Now, I heard another name that's been a big influence on you there in Las Vegas has been Cynthia Calvillo.
Yes, definitely. It's crazy. I've always looked up to her. She's a firecracker, and I love watching her fight. When I moved out here, I still can't even believe it. I fangirled when I first met her. Her on a daily basis. I watching her train because she's definitely one of the hardest workers in the room. And she puts everything into her fight camps. I was there when I need her.
That's awesome to have all those people and such a great group there in the gym. I also gotta ask, what has led to Las Vegas now becoming a second home for this coalition of Hawaiian fighters?
You know, like I said in the last interview with LFA, Brad Tavares is like our team captain. From there, you know, he had Cooney and Dan, and from there, everybody else kind of just followed along. I swear, like, you know, you have a bunch of different squads here in Extreme Couture, a bunch of different people from different places, but we probably make up almost half of the people here. It's crazy. It's like home. It's the ninth island.
And we all talk about it in the fight media. Everybody talks about it around MMA. There's just something different. If you could help describe it, what is that Hawaiian fighting spirit like?
It's hard to say because I was born with it. I was one of the blessed ones. But I don't know what it is. You know, we love to go to war. We're down to go to war. Maybe it's the salt water. I don't know, you know. Maybe it's the food, but we love to stand and bang, and we're all just happy, chill people. I don't know. I don't know.
And LFA 130, it's Friday night. Heard you might see a blizzard?
I really hope not, you know. I don't know if I could survive in a blizzard. But we'll see. I'll be stuck indoors.
Good luck on the fight, ma'am. Last but not least, was there anybody you need to thank or shout out to?
All the girls I mentioned earlier, you know, they've been a huge part of the camp, a huge part of my preparation. Coach Giff, Pooney, my family back home, they've been a huge support. You know, just grateful. I'm just very, very grateful.
Tiani Valle, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Mahalo. Have a good one.